clean van right here, baby. This is a clean van.
It's time for Wheelin N Dealin, the final episode of the 2023 season. Yes, I am back. Creditors are after me, so I'm hiding out in the Quad Cities for a while. I'm Jim Albrecht. Of course, we got EJ Hilliard here. You know him. Wheelin N Dealin from the quarterback position. Then we have Cory Ross, the son of Betsy, back here, of course. The coach of the Steamwheelers and the man who makes it all happen, Doug Bland. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Let's talk about what's going on. First of all, Doug, what's happening when the Blizzard are in town? There's a lot going on. I hear a rumor about $1 beer. I mean, my whole family's going to be here.
We had to step our game up. You know, they had $2 beers. We've had that a couple times. They got the John Deere Classic in town the same night. Free concert with Darius Rutgers. So we said, whoa, hell with it. We're doing $1 beer night. And fan appreciation night with a big ass tailgate party.
And you're also auctioning off some jerseys, right, EJ? Like the one you're wearing right now?
He's red right here.
Okay.
Sweet red, what he got on.
So, can I ask you a question? When you guys auction off jerseys, do you guys give each other crap and like after it's over, like, man, I outsold you, man, you're nothing? Do you get like, if you get more than, you know, the other guy's jersey?
It's probably been like 2 times. You know, Rudd always the guy. He always throws the shoes in there, throws the gloves in there, extra incentives. So, you know, he's kind of like cheating the system. Yeah, he kind of like cheating the system. Shout out to Stud Rudd. But normally, guys don't really talk about it that much normally.
Well, I do remember Joe Crawl, I think, outbid everybody. Our O-lineman jerseys got outbid from everybody. They got the big number there, so the O-lineman loved that one.
Yeah, shout out to Cory.
And where do you take that money, Doug? I mean, when you get that, is that just part of the franchise? What you know, how you run a team? What do you
No,
do
we
with
donated
that?
to charity.
Really?
Yeah. So this will be our 3rd one this year. We did military, and then we also
Arizona.
The Arizona game, the first game of the season, we did
John Deere
jerseys. We had specific
cool.
John Deere jerseys.
Cool.
Each one of those games has a different nonprofit organization that we work with during that time. Like the first time it was the Riverbend Food Bank. Then I think it was the military Gary Sinise Foundation.
Oh yeah.
And then this one is the Arc of the Quad Cities. The funds go to them.
Let's talk about mindset. I'll start with you, Cory. I mean, I remember meeting you the very first time when you came into town and you were introduced. And I'm like, oh, good luck. No, I said, you know, this guy's awesome, man. He's from Nebraska, man. So how do you change over the course of time, over 4, 5, 6 years, how you get this team ready? Does it matter about the last game, the outcome, win or lose? Are you just always the same key all week?
No, you try to make sure you adapt to every situation you go through, right? So whether you win, lose, or draw, you got to figure out, you know, where you can get better at in all those aspects of it, and we try to make sure we focus on that. So we do a good job at making sure, like obviously after a loss, you know, we try to find some positives in that, and then we try to make the corrections we need to. But then obviously, you know, after every win, you got to find, you know, some of the things that happened during that game that you could have even got better on and could have been a bigger win. So we want to try to focus on that, and obviously focus on winning first.
EJ, when you're getting ready for a game, I don't want to say does it matter who you're playing, but in your mind, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't get too rattled. I've never seen you like rattled.
No.
Maybe your 8-month-old kid can rattle you, but
that's true. Both of them.
Worse than a D lineman at 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So, how are you always cool and calm? Do you ever does the heart rate go up?
That goes up before the games. Butterflies. I think when you love the game that much, you're supposed to get that. And most of the time, me and Coach always talk or look at each other. Probably might not say too many words, but he just looks at me and then we go from there. I feel like I'm always prepared, locked in. I just want to go out there and win, whatever it takes, whatever it costs. Just go out there and get the dub. So try not to think about the pressure too much, because like you said, it doesn't matter who we play. You play your game, you do what you're supposed to do. The opponent shouldn't dictate whether you get up or down for that game. So I think it's the mindset, just knowing that the more we're prepared, the better off we would be. So I try not to think about the other team too much.
Let's talk about how the owner of a team reacts after a game. I mean, when you win, obviously that's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
When you lose, What goes through? I mean, how many TVs have you broken? I mean, I know you get into it, man. You want to win.
Me, after that Barnstormer game a couple weeks ago, I wanted to throw my phone through an 85-inch screen. It was brutal to watch. You know,
I think we all want to do that.
We know how much talent we have on this team, but some nights it's just like the football gods are just against your ass. You know, we fumble on the opening kickoff, and then it just snowballed one thing after another, and injuries, and it just gets to a point where it's out of control, you know, and you can't control it back into getting it back on track. So you just scrap that darn game, and you know, and you got to focus on the next one and make. You know, Cory and I were on the phone right afterwards, and like, what do we got to do to fix this?
Right,
you know?
right.
And you can't just complain about it. You got to take action and fix it, or attempt to fix it.
Well, I want to talk about this Toyota that we're driving as well, and of course EJ knows all about that. You call that place a lot of things, good places, good workplace. You know, you're knee deep in Hiland Toyota. So what about this ride?
Finally, we got in the van. It's a 2022 Sienna hybrid XLE. So the gas mileage is crazy, 36 miles per gallon. I'm doing 40 miles per hour right now, so hopefully we get over that. But spacious, very comfortable. Spoke with a lady about 2 weeks ago about vans and good reasonings and having a place to put her purse. So we got like this little underneath compartment, and other than that, I know the guys back there are comfortable. It's a third row back there too. So, you know, I'm a dad of 3 right now, so I'm trying to get used to driving this van and see if I want to ride in it.
It still looks good.
Probably don't.
It looks good.
I probably don't. They changed the front of it, so if you're looking at it from the front, it don't really look too much like a van. So
it doesn't. I didn't even know that.
You won't be able to tell, but other than that, it's a great car.
Right?
You ain't lying. As long as you tint the windows, tint these windows and hide that third row back there. But no, this is a definitely solid car, great car. I love it.
So, Cory, let's get back to, you know, nobody expects a perfect season. I mean, they're so rare in any sport.
Yeah.
Unless you're Alabama or, Clemson, or, some of these guys. But so when you have a tough loss, I mean, a game you could have won, in your heart, you're like, oh, God, we had that. We could have had that one play difference or whatever. Do you beat yourself up? What do you do? How do you come down from the negative?
Well, any loss I take personally, and so it's always going to be tough. I hate losing with a passion, and whether it's a bad loss, a close loss, is still a loss, right? So,
right.
For me, I have to take some time. Like, I have to stay away from everybody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to text anybody. I need to just take some time, breathe, relax, get my mind cleared, and then immediately right after that, soon I watch the game film.
Wow.
That calms me right away, and so then I see what happened, what led to some of the scores that have happened against us, or what led to us, scoring, getting touchdowns, or the turnovers, or just what happened, so we can make those corrections and try to eliminate that from continuously happening. And so when it comes to that, when it comes to losing, oh God, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I try not. The hardest thing to do is to talk to the team after that.
I bet.
For a loss. That's the hardest thing to do. But you have to as a coach. You got to make sure they understand some of the positives, because they deal with it too. They're in pain. They don't like losing at all either. And so we got to make sure we talk to them as coaching staff, and talk about the next week, because now you can't get that day back. So let's start talking about the next week. Let's look forward to the next game we have, and that's another opportunity for us to present ourselves as such, and that's a winning organization with a great team with some great players behind us.
And of course, the blizzard coming to town, final home game. And Doug, I want to go. Let's do a little reflection real quick. I met you when you came into town. You made a gamble. You bought a team. You don't know how that's going to go, and because the first part of the Steamwheeler history started great, ended kind of on an off note. So when you look back at all these years, and you had to go through COVID, You hired me. You made some serious mistakes. So when you look at it all, like in a whole picture, has it been worth it to you? I mean, has it given you a purpose?
It has, and when you give those checks to those charities, and when you have a kids camp like we're going to have here today, with 97 kids coming to it, and
wow.
seeing the looks on these little kids' faces, and when the players go to the schools and do these school visits, and last year when we won the Eastern Conference Championship and we were 2 points away from winning it all after coming out of 2 years of hibernation because of COVID.
Yeah.
And nobody gave us a chance in hell to even be competitive. And then we got a call from this young man.
EJ is back.
It said, man, I got to move to the Quad Cities. I would love in a second chance to be with you guys. And, you know, there's a few bad decisions that I made, but there were some really good ones. Hiring Cory was the first thing. I didn't even decide if I was going to do this team until Cory committed to me to be the coach.
Oh.
And we were both in the CIF, and he was in Omaha, I was in Dallas, and I was talking to him, and I said, hey, you want to do this? And he came up and walked through the arena, and remember that? And he says, man, I think I want to do this. And I said, well, let's do it. And then, you know, obviously EJ coming to us right before training camp ended in 2018. And here we are, the only three people still around out of that original group is EJ, Cory, and myself.
Right here in the car.
You know, and I look back at that, the first season we had players living in a house that was donated by a sponsor.
Oh, I remember that.
The frat house, you know, and
16 deep.
My wife would not let me go in that house.
Yeah.
There was trouble in there.
Hey. I mean, we were scraping pennies to make this thing work, you know, and then now we've got our own bus. We're flying to games. I mean, we've really made some strides as an organization, and EJ, you know, saw it all happen firsthand. So I mean, he can probably elaborate a little bit on it from how far we've grown.
Yeah, EJ has been there when, hey, it was tough and when it was going good. And do you ever, like you mentioned the championship game and how close that was? You can't go back. We all know that.
Yeah.
But
we can go back.
Okay, go back.
Go back.
Go back. I mean, just you wake up at 3 a.m, Cory, and go, one play, man. Whatever.
No. Right after the game, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I think a month or two after, you still have nightmares about that kick almost made it, and for a championship game to allow that net to be coming down like that.
What the heck?
But it's not an excuse. But like I said, no, I mean, right now I don't think about it. I'm thinking about getting back.
Well, before we wrap up this episode of Wheelin N Dealin, again, I'm Jim Albrecht. You got EJ Hilliard over here. You got the owner, Doug Bland, and of course, head coach, Cory Ross. Let's just ask one final question because I find it interesting. As you guys know, I retired. Of course, some people call it a forced retirement. But anyway, so I'm out of what I loved, all right? And I loved it, and I did it, and I wouldn't change a damn thing. What about, we'll start with the owner. What if there's no sports in your life, what would that work?
No. And when you're an athlete your whole life, I mean, from the time you start playing Little League and stuff, or Pee Wee League when you're 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
I've had sports in my life my whole entire life. It went from baseball, track, basketball, football, racing BMX bikes, racing stock cars, racing, you know, everything. I've always had competition in my life. And then when I quit doing it, I bought a football team, you know, and I'm not playing, but I'm having influence on the outcome of the team, you know, and trying to make adjustments and changes and helping Coach Ross and helping anybody I can to try to make our organizations better and winning. If life is a sport, I mean, at the end of the day, you wake up every morning, you're either going to win or lose that day. And it's no different, but I got to have some kind of competition in my life or I'm going to be lost.
Okay, Cory, when I met you years ago, I still have your picture that you signed for me, you know, in your Nebraska uniform, looking like a bad man.
Cornhuskers.
Yeah. And what would happen if you couldn't do this? I mean, would you ever think of what life would be without football?
No.
You've been in football
There's no
since
way.
you were 5.
There's no way. I don't know what I would do without sports, without football in general. Yeah, I don't like to think about it because I refuse to even have that come to fruition.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game is not only taught me so much, but it's also gave me so much, and so giving back to it is what I like doing and what I love doing, and that's what I'm doing while I'm coaching and trying to get back to my young killers.
And EJ, would it be okay if you went and did another profession when your playing days are over, but your kids played football? Would that still keep you going? You good?
Oh yeah, I'll be good. My dad never forced it on me.
Yeah.
He was just one of those guys. If you're gonna do it, we're gonna go all out. If not, I'm not gonna force it on you. So it'll be the same way with my son, same way with my daughters. Just not gonna force it on them. Whatever you want to do, definitely gonna support you 100%. And that's the world we live in now. People make mistakes. So our parents made mistakes, their grandparents and their parents. So you learn from those generations, and you learn how to do it the best way you can, because there's no book on it. There's no book you can pick up and say, oh, it's the only way to do it. So
True that.
Definitely just support, love. I think that's the most important, encouraging them and learning from our parents, our coaches, our mentors, and how they did it and how it went with their family. So I think if they don't do it, they don't pursue it, then I'm right behind them. And if they do, then been blessed enough to go through the roads to know how to do certain things a certain way. So I think definitely encouraging them more.
So your daughter's first words were, "I'm going to be a cornerback."
Dad.
Okay.
First word, dad.
Yeah, right.
Dad.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been great seeing you all again. Again, get down to Hiland Toyota. They can fix you up with a van, anything you want. Ask for EJ, ask for anybody. They're very helpful down there. Lots of rides in that place.
So
Ask for EJ. Him, number 12. You don't even say his name. You just go,
QB1.
I want 12.
Me. The other guys.
All right, guys. Corey, great seeing you again. Doug,
Appreciate
thanks for the
Green
opportunity.
Bay, July 8th.
Right.
Tickets on sale now. Big ass pre-game tailgate party and $1 cervezas.
Amen. I might drive, another 380 miles to get here for that.
Why not? You can fly too,
We'll
right?
see. Otherwise, come see me in Kansas City, guys.
Got
All
that new
right.
drop stop.
All right. Wheelin' and dealing. Go Wheeler.
Yeah, baby.
Mr. Penthouse, Cory Brown. What's up, guys?
Cory Brown.
Cory Brown.
Where did Cory Brown come from?
What is your name? Cory.
Cory in the house.
Cory what? Ross?
I think the last
Oh,
name starts
bull.
with
No, that
R.
can't be your name, man.
Cory in the house.
Ross,
Okay,
Coach
so you
Ross.
Betsy Ross is what you're saying. All right, let's talk about the Green Bay Blizzard.
What did you have for breakfast?
Let's start it. There we go.
Caffeine.
Okay, let's start. Yeah, I just
How
had.
many gummies did you put
I
in that?
I kept calling him Cory Brown because we had a Cory Brown. Remember back in the day? Yeah, he was an Iowa Hawkeye. Fucking
Cory
idiot.
Brown.
Okay, edit. All right, here we go. Take two. Whoop. Sorry, guys.
Cory
This is what you get when you wake up an old man early. All right, here we go.
You down
3,
like three
2.
gummies.
He was dead serious too.
I was calling you Cory Brown. Okay, in 3 and 2, in 1.